Ready to rediscover your inner child and experience the magic of gaming all over again? Grab that comfy cozy drink and let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to Jade Gaming, Jade here, and today we're reviewing the Plucky Squire, a new action-adventure platformer. We'll be looking at these 10 specific categories as usual, and then give each one a number score between 1 and 10, totaling the overall Jade score at the end of the video, so stay tuned. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to get notified of all of my future cozy gaming content. And be sure to follow me over on Twitch for some more cozy chaos, where I occasionally stream when I'm not streaming here on YouTube. The Plucky Squire is an action-adventure platformer game where you jump between a 2D and a 3D world, following the magical adventures of Jade and his friends, who are all storybook characters that discover a world outside the pages of their book. But when the malevolent Humgrump realizes he's the villain of the book, destined to lose his battles against the forces of good for all eternity, he kicks the heroic Jade out of its pages and changes the story forever. If y'all didn't know, I featured this game over on my most anticipated games of 2024 video, which you can find over here in the cards. Spoiler alert, it was number 2 on my list, and let me tell you, it was 100% worth the wait. There's no doubt that the visuals in this game are absolutely stunning, between the gorgeous art styles and amazing graphics. It starts off with a charming and sweet 2D storybook art style that makes the game very light, quirky, and aesthetically pleasing. Then the setting shifts into a beautiful 3D world that takes place on the desktop of a child's room, specifically Sam, the boy that owns the storybook that your character is a part of. The transition between the 2D and the 3D world is flawless and beyond satisfying. The attention to details in both settings is so refreshing to see and demonstrates the passion and the love that the artist James Turner holds for this game. As for the performance, it ran extremely well without any major lagging or frame drops, nor did the game ever crash for me. On a few occasions, it did experience a few minor frame drops during some scene transitions, but not bad enough to make it unplayable or unenjoyable. I am playing on PC, but you can find the game available on Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. The audio of the game is super lighthearted, quirky, and beyond fun. I found myself turning up the volume and tapping along during so many moments, genuinely having a great time. Every sound and tune blends perfectly to create a fun and immersive gameplay experience. While the story may sound like your stereotypical kid story where the hero needs to save the world from an evil villain that's planning to take over the realm, it takes it a bit further, giving this age-old hero versus villain story a refreshing and highly enjoyable take. It's pure, wholesome, silly, and without a doubt beyond fun. You play as Jade, the main hero of the story that always battles and wins against the evil wizard Humgrump. But Humgrump finds out that he's but a mere character in a book, always destined to lose his battles, and he refuses to let that be his fate. He takes things into his own hands and he harnesses the power to manipulate the story by kicking Jade out of the 2D story and into 3D reality. So it's up to Jade and his friends, Thrash and Violet, to find a way to restore everything to the way they were and defeat Humgrump for good. While a lot of it felt very predictable, I can honestly say that there were several moments where I was completely wrong and left saying out loud, well, I'll be. My only complaint here is the lack of story for Violet in comparison to Thrash. Throughout the story, you're taken into both Thrash's and Violet's town to help on some sort of mission or to clean up various messes made by Humgrump. Going into Violet's world felt more like a drive-by fetch quest scenario versus the more family-oriented pull at your heartstrings story from Thrash. I would have liked a little bit more lore from Violet aside from that typical bully story that you're going to come across. When it comes to the features, I was pleasantly surprised to see so many options available to help cater the game to however I personally want to play. The game has 2 modes that you can play. Adventure mode, where things are meant to be a bit more challenging and cozy chaotic, versus the story mode, which allows you to play things at a less challenging mode where you can relax and just enjoy the story. But it doesn't stop there. You can go into your settings and adjust a few of the accessibility options to make things even easier for you if you need to. While I personally already found the game to be pretty easy in adventure mode, I can't completely understand and appreciate these features for others who would prefer a less challenging experience. Which leads me into the gameplay mechanics. The game features such an extensive variety of gameplay mechanics, taking a lead from so many different game styles and genres of the past. From word puzzles to platformers, then rhythm games to bubble popper, you've got them all. All these varied mechanics helps keep the game feeling fresh and less repetitive than a regular platformer game would feel. As you progress in the game, you're given a chance to play as one of the three main characters, Jot, Thrash, and Violet, through their specific minigames. Jot features an old-fashioned boxing mechanic reminiscent of the old-school Punch-Out games. Thrash, on the other hand, features a rhythm-styled game that requires you to drum along to the beat, whereas Violet's minigame takes on the classic Bubble Popper Match 3 games. If none of these game styles resonate with you, no problem. You can also opt to skip them at any time. Further into the game, you'll take on other classic gameplay mechanics, such as shoot 'em up, platforming, and refreshing takes on puzzle solving. One of my favorite fresh mechanics is where you get to manipulate the words in the book to alter the way things look or function in the game. There are chances that you may get the incorrect word placements, which alters the book in a pretty humorous way sometimes. As for the action combat, you have a sword you use to attack the various mobs around you that you can upgrade whenever you could come across the merchant NPC found throughout the game. The combat itself felt very simple, relaxed, and highly enjoyable. There were a few stealth areas that I ended up having to replay a few times due to what I felt was either me being an epic goober or the game detection system was just a tad bit too sensitive. Alright y'all, with all that being said, let's go straight to the Jade scale and see what the Jade score is for the Plucky Squire. The graphics and art style category kicks things off with a solid 9. You can tell that a lot of love and attention to detail were put into the making of this game. I found myself taking so many mini breaks from the actual gameplay to soak in the pure beauty and all of the incredible graphics and details. Performance comes in also with a solid 9. The game ran flawlessly, never presenting any major game-breaking issues for me whatsoever. The sound category brings in an impressive 9.5. The sound effects and music blend together perfectly to create an extremely satisfying and enjoyable experience. The features category lands an 8. The game does a great job allowing you to customize your difficulty levels and cater things to how you want to play. Gameplay mechanics brings in another solid 9. The game offers a plethora of mechanics that are perfectly spread throughout the game so that they don't feel repetitive. It does a great job of bringing back classic gameplay mechanics and making them feel fresh again. The story category brings in a 9. The lighthearted, pure, and wholesome story that is the Plucky Squire will have you smiling, laughing, and feeling like a kid all over again. Originality brings in an 8.5. While the game may seem familiar with its story and gameplay, it implements it all in a way that feels new and refreshing. The fun factor category brings in a 9.5. The bosses, the combat, the minigames, and the music all combine together to make this the most fun I've had in a video game in a very long time. As for the cozy level, it brings in an 8. Even though the game does have combat elements, they were very light and relaxed. The overall environment and atmosphere, in my opinion, makes this game highly cozy and comforting. And lastly, replayability gets a 6.5. The game is a single-player, story-driven game that, although is very fun and enjoyable, doesn't possess much opportunity for replayability once you've completed the story. You can, however, go back and replay specific chapters that allows you to collect the art scrolls, which are the only collectibles in the game. Alright y'all, this brings us to the moment of truth. The Jade score for the Plucky Squire is 86 out of 100. The Plucky Squire went above and beyond, exceeding my expectations. Playing this game has been such an incredible experience. I was taken back to a time when life was simpler, when all that mattered was having pure fun. Most games these days are just so focused on realism and complexity that they often forget to have fun. But this one's different. It's like a breath of fresh air and a reminder that games can still be silly, colorful, and most importantly, incredibly enjoyable and magical. I'm pretty sure it's obvious to say that it's 100% a hit in my book, and I highly recommend that you give it a chance. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the game? Have you picked it up? Have you given it a try? Or were you just waiting around to check out some reviews? If so, did this review help you figure out whether it's the perfect game for you, or are you gonna pass on it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video and want to stick around for more, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to get notified of all of my future reviews and other cozy chaos. And don't forget to drop a follow over on my Twitch, where I stream alongside YouTube from time to time. Alright guys, until the next time, happy gaming. Bye!